Thanks for tuning in. You are listening to Conversations with the Citizen.
Hello, and welcome to another week of Get Your House in Order. I'm your host, Bren Sheriff, and today I'm very blessed to have two people that I want you to know and know better what they do, and maybe even how they do it, and what you can do to help them do it better. On my immediate right is a famed star of both stage and screen, one Mr. Victor Love, who happens to be the founder of Mentalhood Cultural Initiative. And to his immediate right is a good friend and secretary of the NAAC. Girl, you wear more hats than Bartholomew. But she happens to be the production agent for Mentalhood Culture Initiative. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
For taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and edify us on what you do and how you do it and why we need to have more people involved. Victor, because you are the founder, tell me, where did the idea of Mentalhood Culture Initiative come from?
Well, I'm going to answer that, but I'm going to be kind of like they do in church.
Okay.
I can't start talking without acknowledging Mr. Garth and the work that the Citizens has done for years, the relationship that he had with my mom and at the restaurant. I remember him coming to support the restaurant and writing up on us about in the paper. So rest in peace, Mr. Garth, and I'm just glad and honored to see you guys continuing to evolve and have different outlets and platforms to still reach our people with the truth and nothing but the truth. Yes. How about that?
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Now,
and to make sense of that, for those of you that don't know,
okay.
When I said that Victor was the famed star of stage and screen, acorns don't fall far from the tree, and his mother is Mother Josephine Wade of the long, historically, as they say, heartbeat and stomach-filling facility on East 79th Street.
Yes, so the only begotten son of Mother Josephine Wade, because that's how she got that name. She's the mother to everybody.
Okay.
But Mentalhood Culture came about.
I was hoping you were going to tell us the name of the restaurant.
Well, you know, the real story, the backstory, that I never liked the name Hard Times. So when I became, I guess, a partner with my mother in it, I changed it to Josephine's.
Okay.
Because I felt like she earned that right,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
And she hated that.
Okay.
She wanted Hard Times. So whatever. So, but yes, Captain Hard Times, Josephine's Cooking, 436 East 79th Street, right in the downtown heart of Chatham.
Yes.
So, but yeah, getting to the question, I came up with Mentalhood Culture because I like to play on words, but the real deal is that I found myself needing to get on the couch. And I had been realizing for years, for several different reasons, relationships, parenting issues, and not so much with my mom, but maybe something might be connected there as well. But definitely my father not being active in me and my sister's life. And sometimes you think you're doing well and you're surviving and you're thriving. And I've done, I think, a lot of cool things for my family as well as the city of Chicago. But I've also made a lot of mistakes and I've hurt a lot of people, you know. And I was able to do what the Bible says as far as I had to examine myself, because everything couldn't be everybody else's fault. Victor, what part were you playing in it? And that got me to, again, wanting to think about talking to somebody. And that's what I did. I started by way of trying to preserve a relationship that, you know, obviously wasn't destined to be, but we were trying to make it work. And we thought counseling and therapy could help that. And then it hit me one day. What I heard her talking about me and what I was talking about her had nothing to do with either one of us. We both had our own levels of trauma and background and history and drama to the point that we needed to go and get that resolved all on our own, and then come back to the table if there was a table to try to consider bringing it back together. And as it stands, you got to have both people willing to participate in their own well-being to be the right and show up the right way for the other person. So that's kind of how it evolved.
Okay.
Right there, yeah.
All right. And so with this Mentalhood Cultural Initiative, what is the process? The column that I write is called Get Your House in Order. And so this is kind of get your stuff together. And so when I hear the name, that gives me that sense
Yes,
that this
ma'am.
was the recognition that you had and that your partner at that time had, that you had to get your stuff together, get your stuff in order.
Yeah.
So as an organization, tell me, what do you do to bring this to the attention of the public? And once it's brought to the attention of the public, how do people get involved?
Okay, amen. So let me go back to the name Mentalhood. So I don't want to overlook that part, because how I crafted even the name, I've always been a guy that would say, oh, it's a beautiful day in my neighborhood. And some of my friends started calling me Mr. Robinson instead of Mr. Rogers. And then I just stumbled up with, it's a beautiful day in my mental hood. And this is my neighborhood right
That's
here.
where you
man.
live.
This is it right here. So when I started doing some deep diving and wanted to help other brothers, and then even when I look at that, you brought up my mom, I stand on the shoulders of, my grandparents who were very active in their community and in their church. And you just can't sit around and watch people crumble and fall. And what I've actually learned too is when you start getting concerned about other people's issues, your issues get worked out. So I took on this calling, I guess, assignment from God, I believe, to get out here and tell my own self, because again, the Bible says they will overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the words of our testimony. And I know it to be so. I have been in this room. Desiree has been in rooms. And when I open up the room and kind of share where I'm at for that day, for how I got here, the room will just open up and you see men sharing, and things that they normally wouldn't do, they'll do it. And what I have found to be another fact is we lie to each other. And not only do we lie to y'all, and y'all think, men, oh, they lie to us. They say they ain't got no woman and they got 4 women. And no, we lie to each other as men, because our number one go-to is, man, how you doing? I'm good. And we're lying. We're not good. And just because you see me with a new car and some jewelry and a nice young lady on my arms, that does not mean I'm good. Not just because my bank account is cool and my bill. I am not good. Brothers are walking around suffering in silence from things that have happened, and Desiree will attest to it. We've had guys to confess things that have happened to them that they can remember at the early age of 5 years old, and they 57 now. And you don't think that has shaped a man a certain kind of way to where he has maybe didn't handle his wife the right way, didn't handle his children right, couldn't keep a job, started doing some other things where it may have led him at that hotel over there on 26 in California, or overcompensated with sex. You got to have multiple partners just to feel like a man. Drinking I heard a guy, they coined it some way like, I was drinking myself to the bottom of the bottle. Like they could, I don't know how they say it, but that means they could drink a whole fifth of something just to
and they thought
get
the
through
solution would be at the bottom of the bottle.
Yeah, so we just find ourselves doing things, and praise God. For the second year, I'll be at the Black Women's Expo with a panel discussion on the main stage this year, discussing and really letting women know it ain't really what you think it is. You calling him lazy, and he ain't lazy. How about something is messing with his mind where he don't even have a desire to go to get a job? And that's not natural, because God created men to work.
To be
and
the
we don't
providers.
work with to be all of that.
To be the providers.
So we're screaming out for help in other ways, and we got to show up tough. We can't cry, because then we get these other labels that don't fit us when we're just a human being. And what's wrong with me? And I'm a crybaby, and everybody know it.
Okay.
But if you get it, I'll give it to you too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, you had indicated that your production agent here. How do you determine which venues? How do you identify the venues to allow him to come and do his bringing in the sheep, bringing in the harvest?
It's not so much the venue itself, as it is the people.
Okay.
So, you mentioned my father. So my father was the absolute excellent example of manhood for me.
Mm-hmm.
So taught me what to expect in a man, how a man is to behave, and how he is to react, all of those things. And so I've always taken that with me. And I've also recognized over the years, because, I look younger than I am.
Yeah.
So I've recognized over the years that there's been a shift with black men. When I was younger, the safe space for black men was the barbershop. It wasn't a lot of women in there. Women didn't come into the barbershop, not because we weren't allowed, we just didn't come to the barbershop because that's where the men were. And so, and I can say that because I did go into the barbershop with my father sometimes, and my mother did come to pick me up, but there were conversations that were menfolk conversations that were happening, and they would share things. And so I began to notice over the years that shifted. Women began to wear their hair shorter, single mothers, things like that. And so women have had a need to enter into the barbershop, thusly
the therapeutic stuff
interrupting that process for men.
Never thought about that.
They've interrupted that, but so now where's the safe space for men? So men like sports. Well, now women do too. I have a friend that has a column called Stats and Stilettos. So now he can't just call a couple of his friends, let's go watch the game, because everybody got a woman. And so the woman likes sports, so she likes sports too, so now she's coming. And so now the women are doing their thing, but it's not a safe space because women gonna come up, baby, you hungry?
Yeah.
Can I get you something to drink? Oh, and they cheering also. So my point is that there's no specific space where the men can go and be men with men. Have those conversations that women should not be privy to. Because, we can say a lot of things, but we don't need to know everything. We don't need to know everything. And it's better for us not to know everything, because then it helps them to be able to work out those things. So it's not so much the venue, it's just the space. So we've been in meetings in public places, and I see a group of men, regardless of the age, I'm like, go over there. Go over there and talk to those
You
people.
just sick me on them.
Just go talk to them. So it's more about the space, and so being able to bring together men of all walks of life.
So are these formal meetings or informal?
They are both.
They're both.
So it's very grassroots.
Okay.
It's very grassroots. So formal in that we can say, hey, Bren, I know you have this space here. We like to come and host a breakfast, a Mentalhood Cultural Initiative breakfast. That's the formal part of it. The informal part of it is we just expect the men to show up, and they do.
Okay. Now, one of the places and spaces that I've seen, and because we are tribal, I guess that's the word. We're tribal. I think this is a part of the human nature and the coming together, and particularly for older people. I'm speaking from that perspective, that I see older men having their places and spaces, i.e. there's probably not a McDonald's anywhere
Right.
that
where they gather,
that the older men gather. I'm this is just observation. They may be at Burger King and Wendy's, I don't know, but I had an uncle that was a devotee. 5:30 in the morning, his feet hit the floor and he was out the door and on his way to McDonald's. So that camaraderie, that coming together, that camaraderie, these are older men. one of the things that I am very, very concerned about is transference of cultural and institutional knowledge in this mentalhood culture initiative. The culture part, I get the mentalhood, the cultural part. Are there, tell me, how does that work? Because as I said, acorns don't fall far from the tree. I mean, there are a lot of adages that we have that bring into a concept for me of what blackness is. And I am so very concerned that the things that I saw coming up that older men did to imbue a certain value or structure, I'm not seeing those connections now. I'm not seeing the connections that were there. It could have been in the church, you know, it could have been in scouting. I don't, you know, I'm seeing those disconnects of carrying on the culture. Is this one of the initiatives?
Yes.
Absolutely. So for me, it's just like Desiree said, one, in the book of Ezekiel, it talks about I looked over and I saw a valley of dry bones. And right now, that's what we're witnessing, dry bones. Like you said, nobody's teaching anybody anything. Nobody has the time to really have a real conversation. We just want to talk at each other. And I hope that what I'm trying to create with the help of my team, that we're creating not just a safe space, but it is a culture that we're trying to encourage and empower brothers. Like one of the initiatives within the mentalhood culture is training up a group of mental mentors. And what that is, that's a brother that we're going to take them through so many day or week. It might just be a day of you know, you go here, you know, you go on these different apps and you take a certain, like for me, to be in Taste of Chicago, I have to go and sit in a 2-hour class on a Zoom call, and then I get my certification to be able to perform. Well, we could do something like that where we train brothers to know how to be there for a new brother who's being introduced to getting on the couch, going to seek professional help. And I'm here that when you have those moments that you break down and you're getting ready to do something to your wife or say something to your boss that's going to get you fired, you'll call your mentor and say, hey man, I'm having a rough day. What's going on? He might even be outraged at that moment, but he'll have enough in him to know there's two brothers and we're putting two mental mentors to every man, that when he calls, if he can't get one, he can get the other one. And even if he calls able to get both of them, one might be out of town, but one can be ever present to ask those important questions. Where you at, man? Oh, I'm at home. Okay, I already know where he lives. Okay, so now tell me what's going on. Man, I'm just taking everybody, man. And you know, and I already know you got guns. We would have already vetted you to know, have you taken your medicine yet? When's the last time you talked to your therapist? Well, I've been busy, man, and okay, well, you know, you can't really, you're too new in this process not to make your regular appointments. You're too new not to take your prescription. Now, the medicine is not working right for you, because I do hear that a lot, that, you know, some of it makes them sick or loopy or whatever. And that's a simple, hey, therapist, this might be too strong for me. This is making me feel this way. And they got to keep trying various things until you get that right fit, that you can be in balance and function at a high level. So just one more point. So what I know about us, when you think about our culture, we like to be entertained. If it ain't cool and flashy and sexy and all of that, we ain't really with it. So when we do this, we got a handshake that we do. We have a pledge that we do. I'm trying to be the pep rally or the cheerleader, if you will, the life coach, the life mental coach, to just encourage brothers to consider some things: their diet, their mental, the company they're keeping. What kind of, no, stop looking at porn. You don't need that. It's going to take you in this room, and then you get stuck there, and then you know what I mean? It's all of that. So I'm trying to make it real now and hip. And as much as I have this gray beard and I think I'm pretty young at mind and at heart, but sometimes And I believe I'm believable because I can talk to 16-year-olds and 13-year-olds and they are listening. But I also am building up a team of young brothers who have been on the couch and two of the guys that are actually on our team, brother Jawan Muhammad and Mark Anderson, both one is 27 and one is 31, and they have double masters in psychiatry and they're all of this. So now you see them, they got tattoos and they got dreads, and they're dropping these jewels on these young brothers because our room is from 13 to 85. So I don't want them to just come there and think they're just talking to a bunch of old cats. No, we got a real balanced room and offering, if you will.
So the numbers that you have, is this a form? Do you have formal meetings? I'm trying to get a sense.
I get it.
Do you have some people that would come on Mondays to give me a sense so that the people that are watching this know if they do become engaged with the organization, what they can expect and when.
So we just came off of a 12-stop tour, and which will be being activated again in November, because we started this year in November on the west side with Reverend Johnny Miller. That was our first Mentalhood Culture breakfast gathering. And that's where we feed the brothers, we have panel discussions, and we talk about our mental health and the stigma and all of the things that go along with that. And we literally, every first and third Saturday from November 22nd to May 16th, we did 12 stops from Kankakee to Freeport, Illinois, which is right next door to Rockford. So we went Inglewood. So we missed a lot of communities, but we didn't, because we can only do so many stops and in a time frame. And so we're this year we'll be starting to plan our circuit because Evanston wants us, Chicago Heights wants us, Roseland, Bronzeville. So we got to start putting our plan for November to start the next 12 run.
So these 12 stops, those are one time.
Yes.
Then once you hit it, do you quit it?
No. Yes and no. So right now it's been a hit it and quit it, but everywhere we go, to Desiree's point, we try to engage the community around that neighborhood. So if they have a mental health facility in that area, we invite them in to be what we call a community partner. If there's a local church, we bring them in. If there's that alderman, we bring him in so that we can leave that space, excuse me, impacting to where they have direct resources to go get initial help. So, and to at least consider getting the help. But to your point, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Desiree will tell you how many brothers that have followed us around here. And when they follow us, we have direct resources ourselves to say, hey, talk to Dr. George Smith, who won't charge you anything, and he'll be your therapist. And if you have insurance, yeah, he'll take it, but if not, he's going to work with you without it. He'll start seeing you as a patient. So we have those direct things for the squeaky wheels. But we are planning to move in our new year in the 2027 season, right? We're going to start holding a once a week group therapy session where brothers can come, almost like AA and NA. You'll be able to come to this particular room, and you'll just be able to come if you want to. We'll have your information. We will have a matrix that we can check on you to make sure you're cool. So if you don't come for 1 week, you'll get a phone call. Hey, brother, you good? You okay? We just checking on you. Yeah, I didn't see you at the meeting. So those are things like that. We have I'm just running because I don't know how much time we got, but we have in October, what are we doing?
Oh, the retreat.
The retreat. We're getting ready to try to take 150 men and boys up in the woods, and we're going to get away and do a real deep cleanse and deep things with therapists and massage therapy, just a lot of different expressions. And then for me, it reminds me of when Moses came down off the mountain. He came back and we're trying to create something like that. That when we do these retreats and these breakfast gatherings and we'll get to what I guess we got coming up this week. But we got we're putting in the work, and we're steady evolving, and this is a 2-year journey for me. I started this back in 2024, and I had to get me right first, and then I had to make some mistakes with what God was giving me, and I kind of got ahead of him a couple of times, and it showed. He'll put you right back in your spot, and I had to say, I'm sorry, and now what it is you want me to do. And then he started giving it to me, and I've been getting people like Desiree and certain team members, and there's been people that have been here that are not here anymore, and I thank them for their time, but we just trying to put the work in and make an impact.
One of the things that you said, and I think that this will help to build the permanency that you need in the community. You said that you look in the area, and I guess being the production person, you're the one that does that. You look at a community and you see what are the resources in this community. Perhaps having a meeting with them, the mental health folks. There might be some therapists that are specific to that zip code, or churches that have those desire to be a place of sanctuary, if you will, for the people that are troubled in the community. So when you do that, do you then, after you have your stop, do you then come back and meet with those? I mean, how it appears that you drop something in the petri dish to grow.
Indeed.
And so how do you make sure that it grows and flows?
So when we have these Mentalhood Cultural Initiative breakfasts, you have men from all walks of life, all ages, socioeconomic, religious, all of those things, right? Single fathers, men that haven't had fathers in their lives, all of that. So we got all the things. So that indeed is the petri dish, if you will. So what happens is we then from that we form a need. We recognize what the need is. So we've got train up a father in the way that he should go, and when he's done, his son won't depart. So now we got men that don't necessarily know how to be fathers. They got children. They don't know how to be a father. So we put some men in front of them to show them.
Daddies.
Exactly. We put men in front of them to show them what fatherhood is. You got then the Christian demographic, where God is going to do it all, and they don't need nobody else. Well, now we can dig into that, because if God is your everything, and God is our everything too. Well, he did create all of these other people with these skill sets, because he knew that these individuals, these human beings, were gonna have the need. So then there's the couch into Christ, because they can be married, they can be paired together, and work together.
I'm loving these words and concepts that are coming up to me.
You can thank Mr. Love here for that.
Okay.
So we have all of these things, because we can't put we do have everybody in one room together at the breakfast, but we can't solve the problems with everybody with these different offshoots of issues in the room together all the time.
I understand.
Exactly. So we got to break it down. You got to and not just men, but I mean people in general. But when you put them in a small segmented group of people that are like mind or like issues, had the same issues going on, they didn't know. You struggle with that too, and then there's somebody, man, I thought you had it all together. I wouldn't have never thought, but now you can talk to the person that you thought had it all together.
Focusing on samenesses, putting aside differences.
Exactly.
And there's more power in coming together on a sameness than it is trying to identify differences. And it's that dichotomy that has messed us up.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, and all kinds of things come out, because, people stand up, man, I contemplated suicide, and I said, hey, let's get his number. We gotta hold him tight.
Absolutely.
Let's check on that brother. Let's check on that brother. And then, but to see him, you see him walking down the street, you're like, oh, he got it together.
That's what I was going to say.
He fine. He this, he that, and you would never know. But because of this gathering, that has opened him up, and now he feels comfortable enough to be able to say that, because he knows that help is on the other side, and judgment is not.
Yes. And that is very critical. And that is what has happened too often in some groups is that judgment.
Can I just jump in here? I just want to just say this part. And again, even because of my relationship with the Lord and Christ, this ain't church when we get together. It ain't. This is man talk. But he said, if I be lifted up, I'll draw men unto myself. So it's just in me to say certain stuff, even as I'm telling certain stories. I just know the harvest is ripe, but the labors are few. And people will ask me questions like, y'all getting paid for this, Desiree? Like, it's a lot of money in mental health. Well, I hear it is, but unfortunately at this time, we have not allowed that to stop us doing what we've been called to do. So we've been doing it out of our own pocket because we see the need. And what I heard Dr. Miles Monroe say, when you're in alignment and in purpose, you don't have to beg, you don't have to borrow, and you don't have to struggle. Everything is going to come to us. And that's what's happening now. Like this opportunity on your show. I just got off the phone, and I can say this because it's getting ready to activate. The mayor just called me again today, trying to figure out how we're going to shoot his episode, because we didn't say anything, but even out of when you talk about the culture, and you see I'm just getting excited because I can talk about this all day long. We have a podcast that has been birthed out of this. God gave me a podcast out of this. And it's called The Ride. And where our YouTube station is at The Ride Chicago, the @ sign, The Ride Chicago. Go in there. We got 2 episodes already uploaded. My personal, you'll hear all of my business about how I just touched on it here, but you won't hear about drug addiction. I'm talking about me, Victor Love. Like she said, I would have never thought, me. And then the next episode is with none other than that Marks sharpshooter for the Chicago Bulls, Craig Hodges, is my next episode. It's online now, and you'll hear how he had to protect his peace and how he kept his sanity when he lost his career by just standing up for his community. He just wanted to see better for us. And even you'll hear in his episode to even get backlash from his own family. Like, why would you go and tell them people that? And now you ain't got no job. And why would you wear that? You could have just wore a regular suit and you do that on. Because he said his mother was a Black Panther and she taught him and raised him to be a free thinker. And I'm not going to sit here and see what I see and now be at a level of where I'm getting ready to be with the man and I don't slide him a little letter and say, hey, when you get some time, can you read that? No cuss words. The letter has just recently appeared. I don't know if any of you all know that, but the letter is out now, where it's been hidden all these years. And there was no cuss words, no threats, no nothing, just saying what was going on in our community. And Mr. Bush, what do you plan on doing about this? Can you take a look at this? Can you get a team to pay attention to my neighborhood?
Can you hook a brother up?
Can you hook a brother up?
Can you hook a brother up?
So we going in a lot of different ways. I just thank God, and I'm almost amazed, and I'm surprised. I call her Desi. So, and I had to stop saying, because our words have. I can't even believe sometimes that I would be like, why did he choose me to do? Like, it's coming so quick and so.
I want to share.
Wow.
I want to share with you what you just said, and I want you to give the listening and viewing audience an opportunity to get involved and to also contribute. Where there is a vision, Victor, God will make the provision. You will never have to go begging for bread. And you're going to be calling things that are not as though they were. And this is how it works.
Yes, ma'am.
And the word Christ, to me, you were talking about the Christ couch. To me, the name Christ is in its totality the fulfillment of God's word. So Jesus is the word, and Christ is the fulfillment of that word. So it said all your needs are met through Jesus Christ. All of your needs are met through the word of God fulfilled in your life, changing your world, your affairs, and all of your conditions. And that is what you're sharing abroad with the brothers. It's going to change their world, their affairs, and all of their conditions.
I could show you in this phone testimonies, and when we come offline, I'm going to show you one.
And I
And
appreciate
I'm
that.
going to show you just one testimony. You don't know the guy, so
Yes.
I'm not.
Yeah.
But I want you to read what he texts me.
Okay.
It'll break your heart, but it's encouraging
Okay.
because where you'll see he was thinking about doing it,
Okay.
like
All
ending
right.
it.
I understand.
Yeah.
And
It's making real impact.
and so you are that help in many present needs.
Yeah.
And thank you for giving people that opportunity, especially young men.
Yes, ma'am.
Women are far more emotional.
Yes.
Men are not emoting. And so, like you said, they walk the talk and that kind of thing, and you don't know the hurt that is inside. You don't see the little boy that was hurt, and so it changes things.
Yes, ma'am.
So either of you two give information so that the viewers can contact you, email, phone numbers, websites.
Absolutely. So you can actually contact us. The email address is Mentalhood Cultural Initiative @gmail.com, and that's MENTALHOODCULTURINITIATIVE
I'm so
at
glad
gmail.com. So you definitely send us an email there. We'll get those immediately. You can actually give Victor a call at
773-908-7431. And that's my number. That's my phone number, and it's cool because I was just encouraged, Desiree, by by even in the death of Spencer Leak Jr. Rest in peace. I've heard several people talk, and Tory Barrett, Minister Tory Barrett, he said that one of the things that he appreciated about Spencer, that Spencer would give his phone number to anybody, and people would call him, in their times of need. So this is that number now. It's out, 773-908-7431. And I probably won't answer because so many calls come in daily now. Send me a text, and I'm going to respond to the text. And don't make it long because I'm something else. I need just short, and I'll call you
Salient,
back.
make it salient
Yes.
and succinct.
And you can say emergency in it, and then I'll really call you right back.
Well, I want to thank you for taking time out of your
Yes,
busy
ma'am.
schedule.
I
And there
thank
was
you.
something
Yes,
you wanted
indeed.
to say.
Yes, indeed.
Oh,
We want
yes.
everybody to join us
Yes.
this coming Saturday,
Yes.
Okay.
June 27th,
Yes.
That's what I was waiting on.
2026,
Yes.
Okay.
at Josephine.
And
Okay.
436 East 79th Street.
So it's for
At
the
what
brothers
time?
first.
What time?
So we want the brothers to come in. Is at 9 o'clock?
From 8
8
to
o'clock.
10.
8 to
We're
10.
having an elevated brunch, and we're going to be read to by none other than Dr. Mama Carol Adams, and she's bringing some special guests to read out of her excerpts about
Daddies,
the
her
daddies.
father.
So she's going to do that, and then
That's
she's going to
wonderful.
have a panel discussion while we eat breakfast and Q&A, and then we're going into an awards and appreciation ceremony for the men that have been a part of the Checkup from the Neck Up tour. Dr. George and Dr. Kareem and Pete and Kareem and all of the guys. And then we're also acknowledging, with the help of Jesse, every stop that we went to, we're inviting those stops back. So Kankakee will be in the building receiving an award for partnering with us to bring this message to their community. Alderman Moore, just everywhere, Reverend Johnny Miller, everybody's coming to get their award because we thank them for opening up their doors and partnering with us to push this message out there.
Okay. Are there tickets?
There is a QR code that we can get to you so that you can post it on your page. It's free. So we just really want you to hit the QR code just so we know how many people to cook for and prepare for. But if you don't hit the QR code, just come on. But we're getting a lot of news coverage, so it could get crazy fast. So if you're coming, you better be trying to almost be there at 7:30 so you can get in, get your seat. Ages 13 to 85 for men and boys only, from 8 to 10. And then once we start the ceremony with the awards, then we go into open up to women. The whole community can come and see their husbands or loved ones get awards and that kind of thing. And there'll be a lot of offerings throughout the day.
Well, I thank you both so very much.
Yes, thank
for
you
taking
for
your
having us.
time.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to getting the background, or I should say, the follow-up on
Indeed.
this event that
Yes, ma'am.
that you're having this
Okay.
coming Saturday. Thank you again for being with us, and we will see you next week.
Remember to make plans to join us again next week for Conversations with the Citizen, the place where real